feels like you're stuck playing a role in a story that doesn't make sense anymore. Maybe you keep carrying the same mistakes, the same habits, and the same excuses, all keeping you locked in an endless loop. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we are not defined by our past, but by the choices we make today. So let me ask you, are you ready to break free from the old you and step into the person you were always meant to become? Once, in a small village nestled in the hills, there was a blacksmith named Marcus. He was known for his skill in forging tools and weapons, yet his demeanor was as heavy as the anvil he worked on. Every day, he followed the same routine: wake up, work the forge, and drink himself to sleep, repeating the cycle endlessly. One day, an old traveler passed through the village and stopped at Marcus's forge. Watching Marcus hammer away with a grim expression, the traveler asked, "Why do you look so burdened, even as you create tools of strength and resilience?" Marcus shrugged. "This is just how life is. I've made mistakes, lost opportunities, and now I'm stuck. I work because I have to, not because I want to." The traveler nodded knowingly and said, "Let me tell you a story. There was once a bird trapped in a cage. It believed the cage was unbreakable because it had been inside for so long. But one day, the bird dared to look closely and realized the lock was broken all along. It had the power to leave whenever it chose." Marcus frowned. "And what does that have to do with me?" The traveler smiled. "Your cage is made of old habits and self-doubt. You think you're bound by them, but they're just illusions you've accepted as reality. To break free, you must forge a new version of yourself, just as you forge steel in this very forge. Start by examining your thoughts and actions and decide which ones truly serve you. Let go of what doesn't." Intrigued, Marcus began to reflect. Over time, he made small but meaningful changes. He stopped drowning his frustrations in drink, took evening walks to clear his mind, and challenged himself to learn new techniques in his craft. The weight on his shoulders slowly lifted. Months later, when the traveler returned, he found Marcus smiling as he worked. The blacksmith's tools gleamed brighter, and so did his eyes. "You've changed," the traveler remarked. Marcus nodded. "I realized I wasn't trapped. I just needed the courage to step out of the cage I'd built for myself." The traveler smiled. "Remember this: the forge that creates the strongest steel is the same forge that can reshape a life. It's not the fire that defines the outcome. It's what you choose to create with it." The story of Marcus reminds us that breaking free from your old self is possible. It's not about waiting for the right time or the right circumstances. It's about making the decision every day to become the person you are meant to be. The question is, what will you create with the forge of your own life? Marcus's story teaches us that transformation begins with the mind. He didn't change his circumstances overnight. He changed how he saw himself and his situation. Breaking free from the old you requires first understanding that the greatest battles are not fought in the world around you, but in the space between your ears. Life will test you. It will throw challenges your way, expose your weaknesses, and demand more from you than you think you can give. But here's the truth: adversity isn't your enemy. It's your training ground. The Stoics believed that the mind is our most powerful weapon, capable of turning even the harshest trials into opportunities for growth. This is where your journey begins, by armoring your mind against life's challenges. To forge a new self, you must first strengthen the foundation of who you are. Let's explore how you can build resilience and belief in yourself to rise above the storms of life. Lesson 1 awaits. 1. Armor your mind against life's challenges. Life has a way of throwing punches when you least expect it. It's relentless, exposing every chink in your armor. But let me ask you, what happens when you're caught off guard, unprepared to defend yourself? Most people crumble under pressure, retreating to their comfort zones. Yet the truth is, comfort zones are traps disguised as safe havens. If you want to break free from your old self, you must begin by fortifying your mind. Think of life as a battlefield. Each day, you face challenges that test your patience, your strength, and most importantly, your resolve. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, in the midst of war and political turmoil, didn't let the chaos around him dictate his state of mind. Instead, he cultivated resilience, a mental fortress that no enemy could penetrate. Resilience isn't about pretending that pain doesn't exist. It's about facing it head-on, understanding its purpose, and using it to grow stronger. Life's trials are not curses. They're opportunities to prove your mettle. When you feel like the weight of the world is pressing down on you, remember this: a diamond is just a lump of coal that withstood pressure. Building mental armor starts with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on how you react to adversity. Do you panic? Do you blame others? Or do you look within and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Self-awareness is your shield. It protects you from being overwhelmed by external chaos. Next, focus on controlling what you can. Epictetus, another great Stoic, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You can't control the storms of life, but you can choose how you weather them. Cultivate habits that strengthen your inner peace. Meditate. Practice gratitude. Spend time journaling your thoughts and fears. These practices don't just calm your mind, they prepare it for the battles ahead. Finally, surround yourself with the right people. Your environment shapes your mindset. Seek those who inspire strength and wisdom, not those who drag you down. Like iron sharpens iron, strong minds make each other stronger. If you find yourself constantly surrounded by negativity, it's time to walk away. Your growth depends on it. By armoring your mind, you're not just preparing for life's challenges, you're transforming yourself into someone who thrives despite them. When you train your mind to see obstacles as stepping stones, you stop fearing the fight and start embracing the growth. Remember, life isn't about avoiding hardships. It's about facing them with courage, learning from every failure, and emerging stronger with each step. The old you might have flinched at adversity, but the new you will face it head-on. And that journey begins now. 2. Take action, not just words. Let's get real for a moment. How often do you find yourself saying, "Tomorrow I'll start," or "I'll change when the timing is right"? Be honest. It's easy to talk about change, to dream of a better future, but words alone won't move the needle. Action is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Here's a hard truth. Growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. And that choice is made every single day. You can't become someone new if you're clinging to the same old habits. The Stoics knew this well. Seneca said, "It's not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that they are difficult." In other words, the fear of action is often the only thing holding you back. Think of your life as a blank page. Talking about change is like sketching out a rough draft. It's a start, but it's not the masterpiece. Taking action is putting pen to paper and writing the story you want to live. It's messy, it's uncertain, but it's the only way to break free from the script you've been stuck in. So how do you start? First, stop overthinking. Analysis paralysis is the silent killer of progress. You don't need a perfect plan to take the first step. Start small. If you want to build a stronger body, do a 5-minute workout today. If you want to be more disciplined, set a single, achievable goal for tomorrow. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates change. Second, hold yourself accountable. Words are easy to say but hard to measure. Actions, on the other hand, leave a trail. Set measurable goals and track your progress. Want to read more? Commit to 1 chapter a day. Want to wake up earlier? Set an alarm and don't hit snooze. Every small win builds confidence and reinforces the habit of action. Lastly, embrace failure. Fear of failing is what keeps most people stuck. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a step toward it. Every misstep teaches you something valuable, something the old you didn't know. Don't be afraid to stumble. Be afraid of standing still. The Stoics believed in living a life of purpose, guided by deliberate action. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created it. You can do the same. Stop talking about what you'll do someday. Someday isn't a day of the week. Your time is now. So take that first step, no matter how small it feels. Because the truth is, the person you're becoming isn't waiting for you to decide. They're waiting for you to act. And with every action, you move closer to the freedom of becoming your best self. 3. Seek growth beyond comfort. Let's face it, comfort zones are tempting. They're warm, familiar, and safe. A place where nothing challenges your identity or disrupts your routine. But here's the catch. Nothing grows in comfort. Growth lives on the edges, just beyond the boundaries of what feels easy or familiar. And if you want to break free from your old self, stepping into discomfort isn't optional. It's necessary. Think about it. Every time you've truly grown in life, wasn't it because you faced something hard? Maybe it was the fear of starting a new job, moving to a new city, or confronting a personal truth you'd been avoiding. Those moments weren't comfortable, but they transformed you. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show a person's character." He knew that true strength is forged in adversity, not in ease. Growth starts when you challenge the status quo, both in the world around you and within yourself. It requires asking tough questions. Am I settling? Am I avoiding challenges because I'm afraid of failing? The answers might sting, but they're the wake-up call you need to step up. So, how do you push beyond comfort? Start by seeking out small, controlled challenges. Let's say you've always avoided public speaking. Challenge yourself to speak up in a meeting. If you're afraid of physical discomfort, try an ice-cold shower every morning. These might seem trivial, but they're not. Every time you voluntarily step into discomfort, you're training your mind to face fear and overcome it. Another key is to embrace the unfamiliar. Unfamiliar situations force you to adapt and grow. Travel to a place where you don't speak the language. Take up a hobby that intimidates you, like dancing or martial arts. These experiences don't just expand your skills, they expand your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone limited by fear and start seeing yourself as someone who conquers it. And let's not forget failure. Growth and failure are two sides of the same coin. The Stoics taught that failure isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. Each failure reveals a weakness that you can strengthen. Each mistake is a teacher, pointing out what the old you lacked and what the new you can achieve. Growth beyond comfort isn't just about chasing new challenges. It's about becoming comfortable with discomfort. It's about rewiring your mind to see adversity as opportunity, and when you do, something incredible happens. You stop fearing the unknown. You stop clinging to the past, and you start evolving into the person you've always had the potential to be. So, step out. Say yes to the challenge that scares you. The old you will want to retreat, but the new you will thank you for it. Growth isn't found in the safety of your comfort zone. It's found in the courage to leave it behind. 4. Cap success to stay hungry and humble. Success is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's the result of hard work and perseverance, a reward for your efforts. On the other hand, it's a trap, a seductive lullaby that whispers, "You've made it. You can rest now." But here's the problem. Resting on your laurels leads to stagnation. If you let success define you, it will also confine you. The Stoics had a profound understanding of this. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, reminded himself daily of his mortality and the fleeting nature of success. He knew that humility was the antidote to arrogance, and hunger for growth was the cure for complacency. Think about it. How often do we achieve something, a promotion, a milestone, a personal goal, and then stop pushing? It feels good to succeed, but that feeling can quickly turn into a trap. You start to believe you've reached your peak, that there's nothing more to strive for, and before you know it, you're stuck, clinging to past achievements instead of building new ones. To cap success means to see it not as a destination, but as a stepping stone. Celebrate your victories, yes, but don't let them define you. The question you should ask yourself isn't, "What have I achieved?" It's, "What's next?" Success isn't the end of the road, it's just the beginning. How do you stay hungry and humble? Start by setting new goals before you've even reached the old ones. If you've run a 5K, aim for a 10K. If you've built a successful business, explore new markets or industries. The idea is to keep evolving, to see every achievement as a platform for the next challenge. Next, practice gratitude. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you that success isn't just about you. It's about the people who supported you, the opportunities you were given, and the lessons you learned along the way. Gratitude humbles you, keeping your ego in check and your focus on what truly matters. Finally, adopt a beginner's mindset. No matter how much you achieve, there's always more to learn. Approach life with curiosity, as if you're just getting started. Read books outside your field. Seek mentors who challenge your thinking. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to aim higher. Success is fleeting, but the hunger to grow is eternal. Capping success doesn't mean you're ungrateful for what you've achieved. It means you recognize that the journey is far from over. It's a mindset that keeps you sharp, motivated, and ready for the next adventure. Remember, success is a milestone, not a monument. Keep striving. Keep evolving. The old you might be satisfied with the wins of yesterday, but the new you knows there's always more to achieve and more to become. 5. Build self-belief. Through hard work. Confidence doesn't come from compliments, titles, or fleeting moments of praise. Real confidence, the kind that carries you through life's storms, is built on a solid foundation of effort, perseverance, and hard-earned success. It's not something you can fake or fast-track. You have to earn it, brick by brick, through the sweat of your labor. Self-belief grows every time you do something hard, something that stretches your limits and tests your endurance. Imagine the satisfaction of completing a task you once thought impossible. That moment isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined. Each challenge you conquer strengthens your belief in your ability to face the next one. Think about the ancient Stoics, who embraced challenges as opportunities to grow. Epictetus famously said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." He understood that our true strength isn't revealed in comfort, but in adversity. Every time you overcome a setback, you're not just solving a problem, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. But let's be clear, self-belief isn't built in a day. It's a lifelong project. You can't expect to feel confident if you've been avoiding challenges or taking shortcuts. Confidence is like a muscle. It grows with use. The more you test yourself, the more you realize what you're capable of. And as that belief grows, it spills over into every area of your life. So how do you start building self-belief? Begin by setting realistic but challenging goals. It might be as simple as waking up earlier, committing to a fitness routine, or learning a new skill. What matters is consistency. Each small victory adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. Next, embrace failure as part of the process. The road to success is never a straight line. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone toward the next achievement. The key is not to let failure define you, but to use it to refine your approach. Over time, you'll see that even your setbacks have strengthened your belief in your ability to bounce back. Finally, take time to reflect on your progress. It's easy to get so caught up in striving for the next goal that you forget how far you've come. Keep a journal, document your wins, and celebrate your growth. These moments of reflection reinforce your self-belief and remind you of the strength you've built through hard work. In the end, confidence isn't about arrogance or bravado. It's about knowing deep down that you can handle whatever comes your way. Build that belief through consistent effort, and you'll find that even the toughest challenges become opportunities to prove your strength. 6. Train humility. Humility is a virtue often misunderstood. Many think it means belittling yourself or downplaying your achievements, but that couldn't be further from the truth. True humility is about staying grounded, no matter how high you rise. It's about recognizing that success doesn't make you invincible and that there's always more to learn and achieve. The Stoics were masters of humility. Marcus Aurelius, arguably the most powerful man of his time, constantly reminded himself that he was mortal, just like everyone else. Despite his achievements, he understood that arrogance was a trap, a false sense of superiority that blinds you to your own flaws and limits growth. Humility doesn't just protect you from arrogance, it fuels your progress. When you're humble, you're willing to roll up your sleeves and do the hard, unglamorous work that others might avoid. You're not above learning the basics or revisiting the fundamentals. This mindset keeps you sharp, disciplined, and always improving. But how do you train humility in a world that often celebrates ego and self-promotion? Start by being honest with yourself. Take a hard look at your strengths and weaknesses. What are you truly good at, and where do you need to grow? This self-awareness is the foundation of humility. Next, practice gratitude. Remind yourself that your achievements are rarely yours alone. Think of the people who've supported you, the opportunities you've been given, and the lessons you've learned from others. Gratitude shifts your focus from "look at what I've done" to "look at what I've been able to achieve with the help of others." Another key is to seek feedback and actually listen to it. It takes humility to admit that you don't have all the answers and that others might see things you've overlooked. Accepting constructive criticism isn't always easy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to grow. Finally, commit to doing essential but overlooked tasks. Whether it's cleaning up after a meeting, helping a colleague, or simply showing kindness to a stranger, these small acts of service keep you grounded. They remind you that no task is beneath you, and that true strength lies in serving others without expecting recognition. Humility isn't about denying your worth or achievements. It's about staying rooted in reality, recognizing your potential, and understanding that there's always room to grow. When you train humility, you don't just protect yourself from arrogance. You unlock a mindset that fuels continuous improvement and meaningful success. 7. Reinvent yourself continuously. Life is not a static journey. The person you are today isn't meant to stay the same forever. Reinventing yourself is not just an option, it's a necessity for personal growth. Sticking to the same version of yourself year after year might feel safe, but it leads to stagnation. Evolution, on the other hand, brings excitement, challenge, and endless possibilities. Think of yourself as a river, constantly flowing and adapting to its surroundings. A stagnant pond collects debris and grows murky, but a river is always fresh, carving new paths and finding new destinations. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, understood this. He said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult." Reinvention requires courage, a daring leap into the unknown. The process of reinvention begins with self-reflection. Who are you right now, and who do you want to become? This isn't about chasing fleeting trends or superficial improvements. It's about rediscovering your core values, identifying what no longer serves you, and embracing a mindset of growth. Maybe it's shedding limiting beliefs, stepping into a new career, or learning a skill that once intimidated you. But reinvention isn't easy. It requires letting go of parts of yourself that may feel familiar, even comfortable. This can be painful. You might face doubt, fear, and even resistance from others who've grown accustomed to the old you. But remember, holding on to outdated versions of yourself only limits your potential. Start small. Reinvention doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Focus on incremental changes. Take up a new hobby, read a book that challenges your perspective, or start journaling your aspirations. Each small step builds momentum, leading to more significant transformations. One crucial aspect of reinvention is embracing failure as part of the process. Every attempt to grow will come with setbacks, but these aren't signs to stop. They're opportunities to learn. Each failure teaches you something about your capabilities and resilience, making you stronger for the next chapter. Reinvention is also about rediscovery. As you grow, your passions and goals may shift. What once drove you might no longer spark joy. That's okay. Allow yourself the freedom to explore new directions. Life is a series of seasons, each with its own purpose and beauty. What matters is your willingness to adapt and grow. In the end, continuous reinvention keeps your life dynamic and meaningful. You become a mosaic of experiences, lessons, and growth, not confined by who you were yesterday. So dare to evolve. Break free from the constraints of familiarity and step boldly into the person you're meant to become. 8. Embrace hardships as opportunities. Hardships aren't just obstacles, they're invitations to grow. It's easy to view struggles as unfair burdens or curses, but what if you saw them as opportunities instead? The truth is, life's toughest moments often hold the most profound lessons. The Stoics embraced this mindset. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To the Stoics, challenges weren't setbacks, they were paths forward. Every hardship was a chance to cultivate strength, resilience, and wisdom. Consider a tree growing on a rocky mountainside. Despite harsh winds and poor soil, it stands firm, its roots digging deeper for stability. Its struggle makes it stronger, more resilient. Your hardships are the rocky terrain that forces you to dig deep and discover the strength within you. When life gets difficult, your first instinct might be to avoid the pain or search for an easy way out. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you face discomfort head-on, when you push through the storm instead of waiting for it to pass. To embrace hardships as opportunities, shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Each challenge carries a lesson about your character, your limits, or your capacity to overcome. The pain you feel now could be the foundation of your strength tomorrow. One powerful way to navigate hardships is by focusing on what you can control. The Stoics believed in the dichotomy of control, separating what's within your power from what isn't. You can't always control circumstances, but you can control your response. Will you crumble under pressure, or will you rise? Another strategy is to practice gratitude, even in difficulty. This may sound counterintuitive, but finding small blessings amidst challenges shifts your mindset from victimhood to resilience. Gratitude reminds you that no matter how tough life gets, there's always something worth fighting for. Lastly, surround yourself with people who uplift and support you during tough times. Hardships are easier to bear when you're not alone. Whether it's a friend, mentor, or community, their encouragement can be a powerful source of strength. Remember, every hardship you face has the potential to shape you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Growth isn't always comfortable, but it's always worth it. Embrace the struggle, and you'll emerge from it with a deeper sense of purpose and an unshakable resilience. 9. Control your mind in moments of weakness. There will come a time, perhaps many times, when you feel like giving up. The weight of the challenge ahead will seem unbearable, and your inner voice might whisper, "Why not quit? It's too hard." These moments of weakness are the true tests of your character. It's in these crucibles of doubt and despair that greatness is forged. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them." When you encounter obstacles, it's not the situation itself that breaks you, it's your perception of it. Weakness doesn't arise from the external, it begins within. But so does strength. Imagine you're climbing a steep mountain. The summit feels miles away, your legs ache and your lungs burn. The temptation to stop and sit down is overwhelming. In that moment, what matters is not the entire mountain, but the next step. Focusing on the enormity of the climb will paralyze you. Shifting your focus to just taking one more step will keep you moving forward. The same principle applies in life's challenges. Instead of succumbing to defeat, Concentrate on the immediate action you can take. Feeling overwhelmed at work. Don't dwell on the entire project. Just complete the next task. Struggling in a relationship? Don't despair over every issue. Focus on having one honest conversation. Training your mind to resist the urge to quit is like strengthening a muscle. Every time you choose to take one more step, you build resilience. Over time, this practice transforms moments of weakness into opportunities for growth. Visualization can also be a powerful tool. Close your eyes and picture yourself overcoming the challenge. Imagine the relief, pride, and strength you'll feel once you've pushed through. This mental rehearsal can ignite a sense of determination when you're teetering on the edge of giving up. Finally, remember that weakness is temporary, but regret lasts far longer. The momentary discomfort you feel now will pass, but the satisfaction of persevering will stay with you. By controlling your mind in moments of weakness, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your doubts, fears, or fatigue. The next time you face a seemingly insurmountable challenge, take a deep breath and tell yourself, just one more step. You'll be amazed at how far you can go. 10. Understand that motivation is fleeting. Motivation is a fleeting spark, a sudden burst of energy that drives you to start something new. But like all sparks, it fades quickly. If you rely solely on motivation to achieve your goals, you'll find yourself trapped in a cycle of starting and stopping, always searching for that next jolt of inspiration. The Stoics didn't believe in relying on emotions to guide their actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have work to do as a human being.'" He didn't speak of waiting for motivation. He spoke of discipline, duty, and clarity of purpose. The problem with motivation is that it's unreliable. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel like pulling the covers over your head. But success doesn't wait for your mood to align with your goals. Success is built on consistency, not enthusiasm. Discipline, unlike motivation, is dependable. It's the foundation upon which lasting progress is built. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you'd rather sleep in. It's what drives you to work on your goals, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the quiet, steady force that keeps you moving forward, long after motivation has faded. One way to cultivate discipline is by creating routines. When you have a clear structure to your day, you eliminate the need to constantly make decisions about what to do next. This reduces mental fatigue and makes it easier to stick to your commitments. For example, if your goal is to exercise, schedule your workouts at the same time every day. Over time, it becomes a habit, a part of who you are, not just something you do. Another strategy is to focus on your why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? What's at stake if you don't? When motivation wanes, reconnecting with your deeper purpose can reignite your drive. Write down your reasons and keep them somewhere visible. On tough days, let them remind you of why you started. Finally, embrace the fact that you won't always feel like it. That's okay. The most successful people in any field don't wait for motivation. They act regardless of how they feel. They know that progress is built on showing up day after day, even when it's hard. Motivation may light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Don't rely on the fleeting high of inspiration. Instead, anchor yourself in discipline and clarity of purpose. With these tools, you can achieve more than you ever thought possible. 11. Organize your mental space. Have you ever felt like your mind was running in every direction at once, like a room filled with clutter where you can't find what you need. That's the mental equivalent of a messy desk. It hinders productivity, focus, and, ultimately, your discipline. To achieve consistency in your actions, you first need to organize your thoughts. The Stoics believed that clarity of mind was essential for living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of aligning thoughts and actions. He wrote, "If you're distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." A cluttered mind exaggerates challenges, while an organized mind sees them for what they truly are. So, how do you organize your mental space? Start by identifying the mental clutter that fills your head. These could be unresolved worries, endless to-do lists, or the constant chatter of distractions. Write them down. Putting your thoughts on paper is like emptying a cluttered drawer. It gives you a clear view of what you're dealing with and helps prioritize what truly matters. Once you've identified the clutter, take a moment to reflect on each item. Is it something you can control or influence? If not, let it go. The Stoics taught that focusing on what is within your control is the key to peace of mind. By releasing unnecessary concerns, you free up mental energy for what truly deserves your attention. Next, create a mental framework. This could be a simple morning practice where you review your priorities for the day. Start with 3 core tasks or goals you aim to accomplish. This not only provides direction, but also keeps your mind from wandering into unproductive territories. It's also important to regularly reset your mental space. Just as you tidy your home or workspace, your mind needs routine maintenance. Journaling is an excellent tool for this. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on what went well, what didn't, and what you learned. This practice helps declutter lingering thoughts and prepares your mind for the next day. Lastly, be mindful of what you allow into your mental space. Limit distractions like excessive social media or negative influences. Protect your focus like a fortress, allowing only what aligns with your goals and values to enter. As the saying goes, you can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. By organizing your thoughts, you learn to navigate life's challenges with clarity and intention. A well-organized mind is like a well-oiled machine. It works efficiently and effectively. With a clear mental space, you'll find that focus, discipline, and consistency come naturally. 12. Meditation as mental reset. Imagine your mind as a glass of muddy water. The more you stir it, the murkier it becomes. Meditation is the act of letting the water settle, allowing clarity to emerge from the chaos. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions and stress seem to multiply, meditation is more than a luxury. It's a necessity for a disciplined and consistent life. The Stoics practiced their own form of meditation. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, began each day reflecting on the challenges he might face and preparing his mind to meet them with calm and reason. This wasn't about sitting cross-legged in silence, but engaging in deep, purposeful thought. Similarly, Epictetus reminded his followers, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Meditation, in its essence, is about creating space for intentional action. If you're new to meditation, you might think it requires hours of your time or a special environment. In reality, meditation can be as simple as taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply and observe your thoughts. The goal isn't to eliminate your thoughts, but to notice them without judgment. This act of mindfulness helps you regain control over your mental state. A powerful meditation practice is the body scan. Sit or lie down comfortably, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Gradually bring your attention to each part of your body, starting from your toes and moving upward. This exercise grounds you in the present moment and releases tension you may not even realize you're holding. Another effective technique is visualization meditation. Picture yourself accomplishing a specific goal or navigating a challenging situation with grace and confidence. This not only calms your mind, but also reinforces your discipline and resolve. Meditation isn't just about calming your thoughts, it's about sharpening them. Regular meditation improves focus, reduces stress, and enhances your ability to stay consistent in your actions. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind, clearing away distractions, and creating room for clarity and purpose. To make meditation a habit, start small. Dedicate 5 minutes each morning or evening to sitting in stillness. Gradually increase the time as you grow more comfortable. Over time, you'll notice a profound shift in how you approach your day. Challenges will feel less overwhelming, and decisions will come from a place of calm rather than chaos. In the grand scheme of life, meditation is a small investment with enormous returns. It's not about escaping reality, but equipping yourself to face it with strength and wisdom. As you integrate this practice into your routine, you'll find that your mind becomes your greatest ally, capable of navigating even the stormiest seas with clarity and discipline. 13. Face your pain and trauma directly. Pain and trauma are like shadows that follow us, no matter how fast we try to run. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. Instead, it allows them to grow in power, quietly dictating our decisions, emotions, and reactions. To break free and reclaim your life, you must turn around, face those shadows, and confront the pain directly. The Stoics understood this intimately. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The events of the past cannot be undone, but their grip on your mind can be loosened by facing them head-on. By acknowledging pain, you strip it of its ability to control you. But let's be honest, facing pain is terrifying. It requires looking at the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. Imagine an old, cluttered attic filled with boxes you haven't opened in years. You know some of them contain memories that hurt, others hold regrets, and a few are full of self-doubt. Yet, until you clean out the attic, it will remain a weight pressing down on you. Start by naming your pain. Give it form and substance. Is it the fear of failure? The betrayal of someone you trusted? The regret of a decision you can't undo? Write it down. Speak it out loud. By identifying your pain, you bring it from the shadows into the light where it can no longer hide. Once identified, take small steps to unpack it. This might mean journaling about your feelings, seeking guidance from a trusted mentor or therapist, or simply allowing yourself to feel the emotions you've buried for so long. Remember, feeling isn't weakness. It's the beginning of healing. Facing pain also requires forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. The Stoics believed that clinging to anger or regret only prolongs suffering. By forgiving, you free yourself from the chains of the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means choosing not to let it define you. When you confront your pain, you'll discover something remarkable. It loses its hold over you. What once felt insurmountable becomes a stepping stone toward growth and self-mastery. Each time you face your trauma, You reclaim a part of yourself that was lost. You grow stronger, more resilient, and more in control. The journey to confront pain isn't easy, but it's necessary. Like a wound that needs to be cleaned before it can heal, addressing your trauma will bring discomfort before it brings relief. But the reward, a life lived free from the weight of the past, is worth every moment of struggle. So, take a deep breath. Turn toward the shadows. Face your pain. Each step forward is an act of courage, a declaration that you are stronger than what tried to break you. 14. Find strength in adversity. Life has a way of throwing us into the fire when we least expect it. Whether it's a loss, a betrayal, or a personal failure, adversity tests us in ways we never imagined. But it's in these moments of discomfort and pain that the depth of our resilience and capability is revealed. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." Adversity isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to forge you. Like a blacksmith hammering iron into shape, life uses challenges to mold you into the person you're meant to become. Think about the last time you faced a significant hardship. At the moment, it may have felt like the end of the world. But now, looking back, can you see how it shaped you? How it taught you lessons you wouldn't have learned otherwise? Adversity forces you to confront your limits, and often to surpass them. The key to finding strength in adversity is your mindset. You can view hardship as a curse or as an opportunity to grow. The Stoics believed in amor fati, or love of fate. This means embracing every event, good or bad, as necessary for your growth. It's not about wishing for misfortune, but about seeing it as a chance to prove your resilience. To cultivate this mindset, start by reframing your perspective. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? By shifting your focus from what's happening to how you respond, you take back control. Adversity also demands action. Strength doesn't come from sitting and wishing things were different. It comes from taking steps, however small, toward overcoming the challenge. This might mean seeking help, trying a new approach, or simply refusing to give up. Each action you take builds your resilience, brick by brick. It's also important to remember that you're not alone. Even the strongest among us need support. The Stoics believed in the power of community and mutual aid. Don't be afraid to lean on others when the weight feels too heavy to bear. Sharing your struggles doesn't diminish your strength. It amplifies it. Finally, reflect on your victories. Each challenge you overcome is a testament to your resilience. Celebrate these moments, not with arrogance, but with gratitude for the strength you've discovered within yourself. Adversity is a mirror. It shows you who you truly are. And while the reflection might not always be what you want to see, it's an opportunity to grow into the person you aspire to be. So, the next time life throws you into the fire, remember, you are not the victim of your circumstances. You are the hero of your story, forged and strengthened by every challenge you face. 15. Avoid letting dreams become masters. Dreams are powerful. They ignite passion, inspire action, and give us hope. But dreams, if not managed wisely, can also become chains, keeping us stuck in endless fantasizing without progress. While it's important to dream, it's even more crucial to ensure those dreams don't become the masters of your life. Instead, use them as a spark to ignite concrete action and create meaningful change. Let's imagine a man who dreams of becoming a great artist. Every day he envisions his name in galleries, his work celebrated worldwide. Yet, instead of picking up a brush and practicing, He spends his days lost in the vision of success. His dream, once a source of inspiration, now paralyzes him. He waits for the perfect moment, the ideal circumstances, but they never come. Dreams without action are like seeds left unplanted. They hold potential, but never bloom. The Stoics would remind us that dreaming alone is insufficient. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Translate this to your goals. Waste no more time dreaming of success. Take the steps to achieve it. To prevent your dreams from becoming masters, you must ground them in reality. Start by breaking them into actionable steps. If you dream of starting a business, begin with research. Outline your goals, identify resources, and create a timeline. Dreams without a plan are merely wishes. Moreover, resist the allure of perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment often means waiting forever. The Stoics believed in the power of the present moment. Epictetus taught, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" Your dream doesn't require ideal conditions. It requires you to start, however imperfectly. It's also essential to remember that dreams should serve as a guide, not a destination. Success isn't a finish line, it's a process. When you achieve one goal, set your sights on the next. This keeps you motivated and ensures you never become complacent. Lastly, don't let dreams become excuses. Some people hide behind their aspirations, saying, "One day I'll," as a way to avoid confronting their fears or taking responsibility. Dreams should empower you, not provide a shield against action. So, let your dreams inspire you, but don't let them control you. Harness their power, turn them into actionable goals, and embrace the process. Dreams are the beginning, not the end. Remember, the true fulfillment lies not in achieving the dream, but in the journey of becoming the person who can achieve it. 16. Leverage criticism for growth. Criticism can sting. It has a way of hitting where we feel most vulnerable, making us question our abilities, decisions, or even our worth. But what if criticism, instead of being a source of pain, could become a tool for growth? The truth is, how you handle criticism reveals your strength and resilience. Used correctly, it can fuel your journey towards self-improvement. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The hammer strikes shape the blade, not destroy it. Similarly, criticism can shape you if you let it. The Stoics embraced this idea. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can refute me and prove I am making a mistake, I will gladly change. It is the truth I seek." Criticism, when valid, is an opportunity to uncover blind spots and refine your character. However, not all criticism is created equal. Some comes from a place of darkness, envy, insecurity, or malice. When someone tries to bring you down, remember, their words often say more about them than they do about you. Seneca wisely observed, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The choice to let criticism build or break you lies with you. Start by separating constructive criticism from destructive noise. Constructive feedback, even if hard to hear, provides insight into areas for growth. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is often an attempt to project the critic's own insecurities onto you. Learn to discern the difference. When faced with valid criticism, adopt a posture of humility and curiosity. Instead of reacting defensively, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Reflect on the feedback, implement changes where necessary, and move forward with greater wisdom. Remember, growth often comes from discomfort, and criticism can be a catalyst for that growth. For the baseless or malicious criticism, practice the art of detachment. The Stoics taught that we shouldn't give others the power to disturb our peace. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you interpret it that upsets you." Let unwarranted criticism roll off your back like rain on a well-oiled shield. Use criticism as fuel to prove doubters wrong, not out of spite, but as a way to push yourself to new heights. Let their words be the motivation you need to refine your craft, hone your skills, and exceed even your own expectations. Lastly, surround yourself with those who offer constructive feedback. True friends and mentors will challenge you to be better, not tear you down. Their criticism, though sometimes tough, comes from a place of care and a desire to see you grow. Criticism, when viewed through the right lens, is a gift. It's a mirror reflecting areas where you can improve and a fire that can drive you to greatness. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it propel you forward. After all, it's not the critic who defines you, it's how you respond that truly matters. 17. Don't let fear define your choices. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers in your ear, urging you to stay in your comfort zone, avoid risks, and play it safe. It convinces you that failure is the end of the world, and that discomfort is something to be avoided at all costs. But what if fear, instead of being a barrier, could become a guide? What if, instead of letting fear define your choices, you saw it as a compass pointing toward growth? Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff with a breathtaking view. The only way to experience the beauty fully is to take a step forward, to confront the fear of falling. Life's most rewarding experiences often lie on the other side of fear, yet so many allow it to hold them back, paralyzed by the what-ifs of failure or rejection. The Stoics viewed fear not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Seneca famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Fear thrives on imagined scenarios, amplifying the worst-case outcomes until they seem insurmountable. Yet, when we confront what we fear, we often find that reality is far less terrifying than the stories we tell ourselves. To overcome fear, start by acknowledging it. Pretending it doesn't exist only gives it more power. Name your fear, understand its roots, and ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Often you'll realize that the worst-case scenario isn't as catastrophic as you imagined. Next, focus on the long-term benefits of perseverance rather than the short-term discomfort of facing fear. Think of fear as a wall. You can either let it block your path or find a way over, around, or through it. Each time you confront fear, you weaken its hold on you and you build resilience. With every step forward, you prove to yourself that fear doesn't control you. Action is the antidote to fear. Fear often dissipates the moment you take the first step. Consider someone terrified of public speaking. The fear builds as they imagine forgetting their words or being judged. But as soon as they begin to speak, the fear fades, replaced by focus and confidence. Moreover, shift your perspective on failure. The Stoics believed failure was not a reflection of your worth, but a necessary part of growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Use failure as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Finally, surround yourself with people who encourage you to face your fears. Their support can be the push you need when you're hesitant to act, and when you do succeed, even in small ways, celebrate those victories. They remind you of your ability to overcome challenges. Fear will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to define your choices. By confronting it, learning from it, and persevering despite it, you turn fear into a tool for growth rather than a chain holding you back. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. 18. Build a relationship. Between confidence and competence. Confidence is often misunderstood. Too many believe it's about projecting an image of self-assurance, regardless of one's actual abilities. But true confidence isn't built on illusions or affirmations alone. It's rooted in competence, your ability to deliver results based on hard work, experience, and mastery. Imagine someone boasting about their swimming skills, but has never been in water. The moment they're tested, their lack of competence reveals the fragility of their confidence. Now contrast that with someone who has trained rigorously, faced challenges, and earned their skills. Their confidence isn't bravado, it's the calm assurance that they can handle whatever comes their way. The Stoics emphasized action over words, competence over pretense. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Confidence should arise naturally from what you've achieved and what you're capable of, not from what you merely claim to be." To build genuine confidence, start by focusing on competence. This requires hard work, discipline, and a commitment to improvement. Whatever your field or goal, strive to master it. Break your ambitions into small, achievable tasks, and consistently put in the effort to improve. Each small win adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. It's also crucial to embrace the discomfort of learning. Growth is rarely linear, and mistakes are inevitable. Instead of fearing failure, use it as feedback. As you improve, your competence increases, and so does your confidence. Confidence born from overcoming challenges is far more enduring than confidence based on empty affirmations. While competence is key, self-awareness is equally important. Avoid overconfidence, which can lead to complacency or blind spots. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting your ability to learn and adapt. The Stoics practiced humility, recognizing their limitations while striving to improve. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Confidence grounded in this understanding is unshakable. Another essential aspect is consistency. Confidence doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort. It's built through daily discipline and repetition. Whether it's practicing a skill, preparing for a presentation, or working on personal development, consistent effort transforms potential into ability. Finally, surround yourself with constructive feedback. Seek mentors or peers who challenge you to improve while encouraging your growth. Their insights can help you identify areas to refine and build on your strengths. And when criticism comes, as it inevitably will, use it to enhance your competence, not to question your worth. Confidence and competence are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist sustainably without the other. Build your confidence on the solid foundation of competence, and you'll find it unshaken by external circumstances. Remember, true confidence isn't about pretending to have the answers. It's about trusting your ability to find them. 19. Own your story. We all have a story, a collection of struggles, triumphs, mistakes, and moments of clarity that have shaped who we are. Yet many of us carry pieces of our past, like heavy baggage, hiding them away out of fear or shame. But what if owning your story could set you free? What if embracing your past, the good and the bad, could make you more authentic and unburdened? Owning your story doesn't mean shouting your deepest secrets from the rooftops. It means being honest with yourself about where you've been and how those experiences have shaped you. The Stoics believed in accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. By facing your story head-on, you strip it of its power to hurt you." Consider someone who's made a significant mistake, one that fills them with regret. Instead of confronting it, they bury it deep, avoiding any reminder of their misstep. This secrecy becomes a burden, growing heavier with time. But the moment they acknowledge it, they reclaim their power. The mistake no longer defines them, their courage to face it does. When you own your story, you stop seeking validation from others. You're no longer afraid of judgment because you've already accepted yourself. This authenticity draws people in. It's why we admire those who speak openly about their challenges. It's a reminder that imperfection is part of being human. To begin owning your story, start with self-reflection. Write down the experiences that have shaped you, both the victories and the failures. Reflect on what you've learned from them and how they've contributed to your growth. You'll likely find that even your darkest moments have brought valuable lessons. Next, practice vulnerability in small ways. Share a personal story with a trusted friend or mentor. Notice how they respond, not with judgment, but often with understanding and even admiration. Vulnerability, when shared wisely, strengthens connections and builds trust. Owning your story also means releasing the need for perfection. The Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. You can't change the past, but you can choose how you carry it forward. When you accept your story, you stop being a prisoner to your past and start using it as a foundation for growth. Finally, remember that your story is still being written. Each day is a new page, and you have the power to shape what comes next. By embracing your past, you free yourself to create a future unburdened by shame or regret. Owning your story isn't just about self-acceptance, it's about empowerment. When you take control of your narrative, you reclaim your life. As Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Your story, when owned fully, becomes a testament to your strength, resilience, and authenticity. 20. Help others through shared experiences. There's a unique power in shared experiences. When we go through challenges, it's easy to feel isolated, as if no one else could possibly understand our struggles. But often, the very thing that isolates us can become a bridge to connect with others. Sharing your journey can inspire, uplift, and provide hope to those walking a similar path. Think of the times you've been moved by someone's story, a tale of perseverance, heartbreak, or triumph. Their willingness to share not only resonated with you, but also reminded you that you're not alone. This is the essence of helping others through shared experiences. The Stoics believed that our purpose extends beyond ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees." In other words, our personal growth and struggles should ultimately benefit the greater good. By sharing your journey, you turn your challenges into a source of strength for others. When you share your story, you offer a roadmap for those who might be lost. Imagine someone struggling with self-doubt. Hearing how you overcame similar feelings could be the spark they need to believe in themselves. Your vulnerability becomes their inspiration. To start helping others, think about the lessons you've learned from your own journey. What challenges have you faced? How did you overcome them? These experiences, when shared, can serve as guideposts for others. Whether it's through conversations, writing, or even mentoring, your insights can make a profound impact. It's important to approach this with humility. You're not sharing to boast or seek recognition, but to genuinely help. The Stoics emphasize the importance of humility in service. Epictetus said, "Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be more discriminating and reflective." Your story should be a tool for connection, not a pedestal for ego. Helping others doesn't always mean grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as listening, sharing a kind word, or offering encouragement. Your presence and understanding can be a lifeline for someone in need. Even a small act of compassion can create ripples of positive change. Finally, remember that helping others often helps you too. When you see how your story can inspire and uplift, it reinforces your own growth and resilience. It reminds you that your struggles weren't in vain. They had a purpose beyond yourself. In the end, helping others through shared experiences is about creating connection and fostering hope. It's a way to turn pain into purpose and challenges into change. As the Stoics believed, we are all interconnected, and our growth is tied to the well-being of others. By sharing your journey, you become a source of light in someone else's darkness, a reminder that no struggle is insurmountable and no one is truly alone. 21. Stay present and focused. In a world buzzing with notifications, endless scrolling, and constant distractions, staying present has become a rare skill. The allure of your phone, social media updates, and the noise of daily life can easily pull you away from what truly matters. Yet, the Stoics taught that the only moment we truly own is the present. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Staying present is not just about focus. It's about living intentionally. When you lose touch with the present, you lose control. Think about it. How many times have you started your day with a clear plan, only to realize hours later that you've been sucked into the vortex of endless distractions? You tell yourself it's just a quick check of emails or a glance at social media, but soon you're adrift, your goals left untouched. Distractions don't just waste time, they scatter your energy. Imagine trying to read a book while someone keeps turning the page mid-sentence. That's what distractions do to your mind. They disrupt your flow, making it harder to focus and accomplish meaningful work. Over time, this scattered attention leads to frustration, dissatisfaction, and a feeling that you're not living up to your potential. The first step to staying present is recognizing what's pulling you away. Excessive phone use is one of the biggest culprits. How often do you check your phone not out of necessity, but out of habit? It's time to reclaim your attention. Start by setting boundaries. Turn off non-essential notifications, designate phone-free times, and challenge yourself to be fully engaged in conversations and tasks. Another key is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just a trendy buzzword. It's a practice of anchoring yourself to the present moment. Whether it's through meditation, focused breathing, or simply observing your surroundings, mindfulness helps you resist the pull of distractions. When your mind starts to wander, gently guide it back. The more you practice, the stronger your focus becomes. Staying present also means aligning your actions with your goals. When you're focused on what truly matters, distractions lose their appeal. Take time to clarify your priorities and review them regularly. Use tools like to-do lists or planners to keep yourself on track. Every decision you make should bring you closer to your goals, not farther away. Lastly, limit multitasking. Multitasking may seem productive, but it's a myth. It divides your attention, making you less effective at each task. Instead, practice single tasking. Fully immerse yourself in one task before moving on to the next. You'll find that you accomplish more with greater quality and less stress. As Epictetus wisely said, "If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Stay focused on what matters and let go of what doesn't." In staying present, you not only become more productive, but also more fulfilled. You begin to experience life fully, appreciating each moment as it unfolds. 22. Success requires sacrifice. Success is often glamorized, painted as a series of wins, accolades, and celebratory milestones. But beneath the surface lies a truth that few talk about. Success requires sacrifice. It's not about luck or shortcuts. It's about consistently choosing growth over comfort, discipline over indulgence, and purpose over fleeting pleasures. The Stoics understood this well. They believed in focusing on what's within your control and letting go of distractions and desires that don't serve your higher purpose. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. To achieve success, you must prioritize what truly matters, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient." Sacrifice often begins with your time. Time is your most valuable resource, yet it's easy to squander. Success demands that you allocate your time wisely, cutting out habits, relationships, or activities that don't align with your goals. This might mean waking up earlier, saying no to social invitations, or choosing to work on your dreams instead of binge-watching your favorite series. Each decision, however small, compounds over time. Next comes the sacrifice of comfort. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push beyond it, whether it's enduring the physical discomfort of exercise, the mental strain of learning new skills, or the emotional challenge of taking risks. Every step outside your comfort zone strengthens your resilience. Comfort is tempting, but it's also stagnant. True success requires embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth. External validation is another sacrifice you must make. Many people chase success to gain the approval of others, but this is a hollow pursuit. The Stoics taught that true fulfillment comes from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Let go of the need for applause and focus on building a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. Sacrifice also involves patience. In a culture obsessed with instant gratification, the willingness to delay rewards sets you apart. Success isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. The path is often slow and uncertain, requiring consistent effort over time. Learn to trust the process, even when results aren't immediately visible. As the saying goes, don't quit before the miracle happens. Finally, remember that sacrifice is not about deprivation, it's about prioritization. By letting go of superficial comforts and distractions, you create space for what truly matters. Each sacrifice is a step closer to your goals, a way of aligning your life with your purpose. As you navigate the challenges of success, keep this in mind. The sacrifices you make today will shape the life you live tomorrow. The journey is not easy, but it is worth it. As the Stoics believed, the path to greatness lies not in avoiding hardship, but in embracing it with courage and determination. The obstacle is the way. Let your sacrifices become the foundation of your success. 23. Face and accept your past. The past has a way of lingering. Whether it's mistakes, failures, or painful experiences, unresolved events can act as invisible chains, holding you back from moving forward. But the Stoics taught us a profound truth. Acceptance is liberation. You cannot change the past, but you can change your relationship with it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This principle applies to how we view our past. The events themselves do not define us. Our interpretation and reaction to them do. Revisiting your past doesn't mean dwelling on it endlessly. It means taking a hard look at the experiences that shaped you, both good and bad, and finding the lessons hidden within. Maybe it was a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, or a poor decision. These moments, while painful, are also your greatest teachers. By confronting them head-on, you strip them of their power to haunt you. Start by acknowledging your past without judgment. The mistakes you made don't mean you're a failure. They mean you're human. The pain you endured doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're resilient. Write down these events, if it helps, and identify what they taught you. Were they lessons in humility, strength, or patience? Each scar tells a story of growth. The next step is forgiveness, of others and of yourself. Holding on to resentment or guilt is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what's within your control. You cannot rewrite the past, but you can choose to forgive, let go, and move forward. Facing your past also means accepting responsibility. It's easy to blame circumstances or others for your situation, but true growth comes from owning your role. This is not about self-punishment. It's about empowerment. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your agency. You're no longer a victim of your past, but a creator of your future. As you process your past, remember to practice compassion toward yourself. Imagine speaking to a close friend who has gone through similar experiences. You wouldn't judge or criticize them. You'd offer support and understanding. Extend that same kindness to yourself. Healing takes time, and that's okay. Finally, understand that your past is not your identity. You are not defined by your failures or pain, but by how you rise from them. As Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. By facing and accepting your past, you create the space for a brighter future. 24. Learn from reverse. In life, role models are often celebrated as the guiding lights to success and virtue, but just as valuable, if not more so, are reverse role models, people whose actions and behaviors teach you what not to do. Observing failure, arrogance, or poor choices in others can serve as a powerful tool for your own growth. Think about the Stoic concept of observing without judgment. Epictetus advised, "What is bad luck? Opinion. What is conflict? Opinion." You see, everything depends on opinion, and opinion is within your power. Similarly, when you encounter someone making poor choices, it's an opportunity to learn rather than judge. Reverse role models can be found everywhere, in your personal life, your workplace, and even in history. Perhaps it's the coworker who constantly complains but never takes action, or the friend who sabotages their own success through procrastination. Observe their behavior closely. What patterns do you notice? How do their choices impact their outcomes? By studying these examples, you gain clarity on the pitfalls to avoid in your own life. Take, for example, the lessons learned from arrogance. You've probably encountered someone who, blinded by their own ego, refused to listen to advice or acknowledge their mistakes. The result: stagnation, isolation, and missed opportunities. Watching this unfold is a reminder of the importance of humility and openness to growth. Similarly, think about those who let fear dictate their lives. People who never take risks, never step out of their comfort zones, and never chase their dreams. Their stagnation becomes a lesson for you to take action despite fear, to embrace discomfort as a path to growth. The key to learning from reverse role models is self-awareness. It's not enough to recognize their mistakes. You must also reflect on whether you exhibit similar tendencies. Are you avoiding risks? Are you letting your ego get in the way? Use their behavior as a mirror to examine your own. Another powerful lesson from reverse role models is understanding the consequences of poor habits. Perhaps you've seen someone neglect their health, relationships, or goals, only to face regret later. Their experiences highlight the importance of consistency, discipline, and self-care. These observations become guideposts, steering you away from similar pitfalls. But remember, learning from reverse role models doesn't mean judging or resenting them. Everyone is on their own journey, and their struggles are often the result of pain or fear. Approach these individuals with compassion, even as you use their experiences to shape your own path. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Reverse role models remind us of the consequences of squandering that privilege. By avoiding their mistakes and taking intentional action, you create a life of purpose and fulfillment. Ultimately, reverse role models teach us that failure, whether ours or others, is a powerful teacher. Use their experiences not to criticize, but to grow. Let their missteps illuminate the path to your own success. 25. Resilience is built through repeated challenges. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's forged through repeated trials and discomfort. It's like building a muscle. Without resistance, there's no growth. Mental toughness, much like physical strength, is perishable. If you don't challenge it regularly, it weakens. The Stoics understood this deeply, and their philosophy emphasizes the importance of embracing adversity as a means to cultivate inner strength. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful principle reminds us that challenges aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. Each difficulty you face is a chance to strengthen your resolve and sharpen your mind. Think of resilience like a suit of armor. Every challenge you endure adds another layer of protection, but that armor doesn't come pre-assembled. It's built piece by piece, forged in the fires of failure, rejection, and discomfort. Facing these moments head-on, rather than avoiding them, is how you grow stronger. Consider this. What was the last truly challenging experience you faced? Did it feel like the end of the world at the time? And yet, here you are, having survived it. Reflect on how that experience shaped you. Did it make you more patient, more determined, more resourceful? Often we emerge from adversity with a new level of clarity and strength, even if we don't realize it at first. However, resilience isn't a one-time achievement. It's a continuous process. If you let your guard down or avoid challenges for too long, your mental toughness will atrophy. This is why seeking discomfort is essential. It doesn't mean recklessly chasing hardship, but intentionally placing yourself in situations that push your limits, whether it's starting a new project, confronting a fear, or tackling a personal weakness. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to prepare for life's inevitable hardships. They would fast, endure the cold, or wear simple clothing to remind themselves that they could thrive without luxury. This wasn't masochism, it was preparation. By experiencing controlled discomfort, they trained their minds to remain calm and focused in any situation. In today's world, building resilience might look like taking on a project you're not sure you can complete, having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or pursuing a fitness goal that seems out of reach. These actions not only stretch your capabilities, but also teach you to trust yourself. Confidence grows when you prove to yourself, time and again, that you can endure and overcome. To maintain resilience, reflection is key. After facing a challenge, take the time to analyze what you learned and how you've grown. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and use it as fuel for the next hurdle. This mindset transforms setbacks into stepping stones, failures into lessons. Resilience isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but each one is an opportunity to reinforce your mental armor. As Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Embrace these difficulties. They are not roadblocks, they are the road. 26. Live a live autopsy. Most people go through life avoiding deep reflection, only to regret their lack of introspection when it's too late. The concept of a live autopsy isn't as morbid as it sounds. It's a practice of dissecting your life while you're alive, examining your choices, habits, and patterns to understand why you are where you are and what changes you need to make. It's about living with intention and awareness, not waiting until the end to make sense of it all. The Stoics believed in self-examination as a daily practice. Seneca famously advised, "Each night before you go to sleep, ask yourself, what wrong did I do? What did I achieve? What duty did I neglect?" This nightly reflection serves as a live autopsy, allowing you to identify areas for improvement and align your actions with your values. Why wait for life to force you into reflection through a crisis or tragedy? A live autopsy gives you the opportunity to proactively address the roots of your pain, frustration, or dissatisfaction. It's not about self-punishment, but about understanding. Why do certain patterns keep repeating in your relationships? Why do you procrastinate on important goals? Why do you feel stuck or unfulfilled? These aren't easy questions, but they're necessary ones. Start by examining your habits. Are they moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away? For example, if you aspire to build a healthier lifestyle, but you spend every evening on the couch, there's a disconnect. The live autopsy helps you confront these contradictions head-on. Next, look at your relationships. Are they nourishing or draining? Are there unresolved conflicts or patterns of behavior that need addressing? The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your life. Use this practice to identify relationships that need boundaries, healing, or closure. A live autopsy also involves examining your mindset. Are you driven by fear, anger, or insecurity? Are you holding on to past traumas that continue to influence your decisions? By acknowledging these mental barriers, you can start the process of releasing them. This level of introspection can be uncomfortable. It's much easier to distract yourself with work, entertainment, or superficial goals. But avoidance only delays the inevitable. The longer you wait to confront these truths, the harder they become to face. A live autopsy is an act of courage. It's a declaration that you're willing to see yourself clearly, flaws and all, in the pursuit of growth. To make this practice a habit, dedicate time to regular reflection. Journaling is an excellent tool for this. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and observations without judgment. Over time, patterns will emerge, giving you the clarity to make meaningful changes. The goal of a live autopsy isn't perfection, it's progress. It's about living deliberately, understanding your purpose, and aligning your actions with your values. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." By dissecting your life now, you free yourself from the weight of regret and create a path toward fulfillment. Don't wait for life to force you into reflection. Start your live autopsy today, and let it be the compass that guides you toward a life of authenticity, growth, and purpose. 27. Generational trauma is transferable. Trauma doesn't exist in isolation. It often cascades through generations like an unseen current, shaping behaviors, beliefs, and decisions without anyone realizing it. Recognizing this truth is the first step in breaking free from its grip. If you've ever found yourself asking why certain patterns or struggles seem to persist in your family, you may be witnessing the effects of generational trauma. Generational trauma is like passing down an invisible, heavy backpack. Each generation adds its weight, unspoken fears, unresolved conflicts, and unhealed wounds. Parents, carrying their burdens, often unintentionally pass them on to their children. It's not about blame, but understanding. Recognizing this cycle gives you the power to change it. Imagine a family where anger dominates every conversation. The father learned this behavior from his father, who used it as a survival mechanism in times of hardship. Without intervention, this cycle continues, teaching each generation that anger is the only way to express frustration. The same can happen with fear, neglect, or low self-worth. These inherited behaviors shape how we see ourselves and interact with the world. But here's the empowering truth. You can be the circuit breaker. You can choose to stop this cycle, refusing to pass on the burden to the next generation. Breaking generational trauma is one of the most courageous and transformative acts you can undertake, but it requires awareness, effort, and self-compassion. Start by examining the patterns in your family. What beliefs were passed down about money, relationships, or success? Were emotions openly expressed, or were they suppressed? Did your family face adversity with resilience or avoidance? Understanding these dynamics helps you see what you've inherited and what needs to change. Next, reflect on your own behaviors. Are you unconsciously repeating these patterns? For example, if your family struggled with conflict avoidance, do you also find it hard to address issues directly? Awareness is the key to breaking free from these habits. Healing generational trauma often requires reparenting yourself. This means giving yourself the care, validation, and support you may not have received. It's about learning to nurture your emotional health and setting boundaries that protect your well-being. One effective practice is journaling. Write letters to your past self, forgiving them for the times they didn't know better. Write letters to your future self, promising to break the cycle and create a healthier legacy. This process helps you release old wounds and focus on the path ahead. Breaking generational trauma is not about cutting ties or blaming others. It's about taking responsibility for your healing. By addressing your pain, you not only free yourself, but also create a new standard for future generations. Your courage becomes a gift to your children, their children, and so on. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Generational trauma may feel like an obstacle, but it's also an opportunity, a chance to transform pain into growth, dysfunction into healing. You have the power to end cycles of harm and create cycles of resilience. It starts with recognizing the patterns, addressing the wounds, and choosing a better path. You can be the one to break the chain. 28. Don't seek external validation. We live in a world that constantly demands applause. Social media thrives on likes and shares. Workplaces reward visible achievements, and personal relationships often feel transactional. But seeking validation from others is like chasing a mirage. No matter how much you collect, it's never enough. Real fulfillment comes from within, not from external applause. External validation is addictive. It feels good to be recognized, to hear someone say, "You're right," or "You're doing amazing." But when your sense of self-worth depends on others, you give away your power. You're left vulnerable to their opinions, moods, and biases. If validation is your fuel, criticism becomes your kryptonite. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated to take a bold step because you feared judgment? Or how often have you replayed a conversation in your mind, hoping the other person understood your perspective? These moments reveal how deeply external validation can control us. The Stoics believed in the power of inner validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This wisdom reminds us that true growth and healing are our responsibility, not something we outsource to others. One of the biggest traps of external validation is waiting for apologies or justification from others to excuse your failures. You might think, if they acknowledge what they did, I can finally move on, or if they believe in me, I can succeed. But this mindset keeps you stuck. Your growth isn't dependent on someone else's approval or acknowledgement. It's yours to claim. So how do you break free? Start by setting internal goals. Instead of asking, "What will others think?" ask, "What do I think?" Define success on your terms. Maybe it's completing a project, learning a new skill, or improving your health. Not because others will notice, but because it aligns with your values. Next, practice self-validation. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and acknowledge your efforts even when no one else does. For instance, if you've been working on a fitness goal, appreciate the discipline it took to show up, not just the number on the scale. It's also essential to build emotional independence. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, but learning to stand firm in your beliefs and values, even when others disagree. When criticism comes, and it will, view it as information, not a personal attack. Ask yourself, is there truth here I can use to grow? If not, let it go. Finally, surround yourself with people who inspire growth rather than demand conformity. Genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, not on the need for constant validation. These connections remind you that your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. Releasing the need for external validation is liberating. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, your values, your growth, and your purpose. Remember, your journey is yours alone. As the Stoics taught, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Let your inner compass guide you, and you'll never lose your way. 29. Shame is the enemy. Shame is a silent saboteur. It hides in the corners of your mind, whispering doubts and regrets that keep you tied to the past. If guilt is a signal that you've done something wrong, shame is the belief that you are wrong, a deeply personal and often debilitating emotion. But here's the truth. Shame is the enemy of progress. If you let it, it will keep you stuck in a cycle of self-loathing and fear. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with your past mistakes, failures, and embarrassments. Every step forward feels harder, and eventually you stop moving altogether. This is what shame does. It weighs you down, preventing you from living fully and authentically. But the beauty of life is that the backpack is yours to unpack. You can let go of the things that no longer serve you. The Stoics understood the importance of confronting shame head-on. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone." The harm is in clinging to self-deception and ignorance. This perspective encourages self-reflection without self-condemnation. Mistakes are not reflections of your worth, but opportunities to grow and learn. To break free from shame, start by naming it. What are you ashamed of? Perhaps it's a relationship that ended badly, a career misstep, or a moment when you let someone down. Writing these things down can help you face them directly. Often, the act of naming your shame diminishes its power. Next, reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing your past mistakes as failures, view them as stepping stones. Every misstep brought you to where you are today, equipped with wisdom you didn't have before. For example, if you're ashamed of a failed business, think about what you learned from that experience. Did it teach you resilience, adaptability, or humility? These lessons are invaluable. Forgiveness is another crucial step. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but acknowledging that you are human. We all fall short at times. Forgive yourself for the person you were and commit to being better moving forward. Remember, you are not your mistakes. Finally, practice vulnerability. Share your story with someone you trust. Often, shame thrives in secrecy, but bringing it into the light can be incredibly liberating. You'll find that others have struggled with similar experiences, and that your mistakes don't define you in their eyes or in your own. When you let go of shame, you make room for self-compassion and growth. You free yourself to take risks, build relationships, and pursue dreams without the fear of judgment. As the Stoics would remind us, dwelling on the past is futile. What matters is how you move forward from this moment. So, drop the heavy backpack of shame. Stand tall, and remember that your past doesn't dictate your future. The only thing holding you back is the belief that it does. Let it go, and step boldly into the life you deserve. 30. Study yourself. Self-awareness is a superpower, yet most people go through life without truly knowing themselves. They react to situations, repeat patterns, and blame external circumstances, never stopping to ask, why do I do what I do? To grow, you must become a student of yourself, examining your thoughts, habits, and behaviors with curiosity and honesty. The Stoics emphasized this practice. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Much of our pain comes from unexamined fears and assumptions. By studying yourself, you gain clarity, allowing you to separate reality from your perceptions and make better choices. Start with your habits. What do you do daily, and why? Are these habits serving you, or are they holding you back? For example, If you find yourself scrolling through social media for hours, ask what need this habit is fulfilling. Are you seeking connection, distraction, or validation? Once you understand the root, you can address it more effectively. Your thoughts are equally important. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Is it supportive or critical? Do you encourage yourself, or do you sabotage your confidence with self-doubt? Write down recurring negative thoughts and challenge their validity. Often you'll find they are based on fears, not facts. Emotions are another key area to examine. When you feel anger, sadness, or anxiety, don't suppress these emotions. Study them. What triggered them? Are they proportional to the situation? Understanding your emotional triggers helps you respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. One powerful tool for self-study is journaling. Dedicate time each day to reflect on your actions, decisions, and feelings. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do well today? What could I improve? Why did I react the way I did in a particular situation? Over time, these reflections will reveal patterns and areas for growth. Feedback from others is also invaluable. Ask people you trust for their honest perspective on your strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes we're blind to aspects of ourselves that are obvious to others. Use this feedback not as criticism, but as guidance for improvement. Finally, embrace continuous learning. Study books, listen to podcasts, and attend workshops that challenge your worldview and expand your understanding of human behavior. The more you learn about others, the more insights you'll gain into yourself. Self-study is not about judgment, but about understanding. It's about becoming intentional with your choices and aligning your actions with your values. When you know yourself deeply, you can navigate life with clarity and purpose, unshaken by external chaos. Remember, mastery of self is the foundation of all other achievements. As Socrates famously said, "Know thyself." Make this your lifelong pursuit, and you'll unlock levels of growth and fulfillment you never imagined possible. 31. Reclaim your narrative. Life is full of stories, but the most powerful one is the story you tell yourself about your life. Are you the hero, the victim, or just a bystander? The truth is, many of us unknowingly hand over control of our narrative to circumstances, other people, or even past traumas. But here's the thing, you don't have to be a passive character in your own story. You can reclaim your narrative and become the author of your journey. Let's start by understanding the power of self-perception. The way you view yourself shapes your actions, your relationships, and ultimately your destiny. For instance, if you tell yourself, "I'm unlucky," you'll subconsciously look for evidence to support that belief. You'll focus on every setback, ignoring opportunities and successes. Conversely, if you believe, "I'm capable of overcoming challenges," you'll approach life with resilience and optimism. Reclaiming your narrative begins with awareness. What story have you been telling yourself? Take a moment to reflect. Are there recurring themes of failure, inadequacy, or helplessness? If so, ask yourself, where did these stories come from? Often they originate from childhood experiences, societal expectations, or negative relationships. While you can't change the past, you can rewrite how you interpret it. The next step is reframing. Let's say you've faced significant financial struggles. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of bad luck, you could view these challenges as lessons that taught you resourcefulness and grit. By changing the lens through which you see your experiences, you empower yourself to move forward with strength and purpose. Action is crucial in reclaiming your narrative. Start by setting small, achievable goals that align with the story you want to live. For example, if you want to see yourself as disciplined, commit to a daily routine, even if it's as simple as making your bed every morning. Each accomplishment, no matter how small, reinforces your new narrative. Surround yourself with people who support and believe in your story. Avoid those who constantly remind you of your shortcomings or past failures. Instead, seek out mentors, friends, or communities that inspire you to grow and become the best version of yourself. Finally, practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It helps you see the blessings and opportunities in your life, reinforcing a narrative of abundance and resilience. Keep a journal where you jot down things you're grateful for each day. Over time, you'll notice a positive shift in your outlook. Reclaiming your narrative is not about denying hardships or pretending everything is perfect. It's about taking ownership of your life and choosing to see yourself as someone capable of growth, strength, and triumph. As the Stoics believed, external events don't define us. Our perception of them does. You have the power to rewrite your story. Pick up the pen and start crafting a narrative worthy of the life you want to live. 32. Convert pain into strength. Pain is universal. Everyone experiences it, yet some let it break them, while others use it as a catalyst for growth. The difference lies in perspective. When you stop seeing pain as a punishment and start viewing it as an opportunity, you unlock the ability to transform it into strength. Think of the process of forging steel. It begins as raw, unshaped material. Only through intense heat and hammering does it become something strong and resilient. Your struggles are the fire, and your response to them is the hammer. How you choose to shape your pain determines whether it weakens or strengthens you. Start by acknowledging your pain. Avoiding or suppressing it only gives it more power over you. Face it head-on. Write about it, talk about it, or reflect on it in solitude. Understanding where your pain comes from is the first step in breaking its hold on you. Next, identify the lessons hidden within the pain. For example, a failed relationship might teach you the importance of setting boundaries or recognizing red flags early on. Losing a job could push you to discover a career path more aligned with your passions. Pain, as harsh as it feels in the moment, often leaves behind wisdom that can guide you toward a better future. Take action to channel your pain constructively. Physical activities like working out or martial arts can help release pent-up emotions while building physical and mental resilience. Creative outlets like writing, painting, or music allow you to express and process your feelings. Find what works for you and commit to it. Helping others is another powerful way to transform pain into strength. When you share your story or lend a hand to someone going through a similar struggle, you not only ease their burden, but also reinforce your own resilience. You turn your pain into a tool for good, giving it meaning and purpose. The Stoics believed in embracing hardships as part of life's natural order. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles and pain you face are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones to growth. By leaning into your struggles, you develop the resilience and character needed to navigate life's challenges. Finally, cultivate a mindset of gratitude, even for your pain. This might sound counterintuitive, but when you're grateful for your struggles, you acknowledge their role in shaping the person you've become. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you've gained, empowering you to move forward with purpose. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. By choosing to see your pain as a teacher rather than an adversary, you reclaim your power and transform your struggles into stepping stones for greatness. The next time life knocks you down, remember this: every scar tells a story, and every story has the potential to inspire. Use your pain to build the strength to rise again and write the next chapter of your life. 33. Reframe adversity. Life is a series of challenges, and adversity is an inevitable part of the journey. But what if instead of seeing these hardships as obstacles, you viewed them as opportunities? The way you perceive adversity can shape the trajectory of your life. When you reframe challenges as growth opportunities, you unlock a hidden strength within yourself. Consider this: adversity is like resistance in a workout. Without it, muscles don't grow. Similarly, your character, resilience, and wisdom are forged in the fire of hardship. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The very challenges you face are the stepping stones to becoming stronger and wiser. The first step in reframing adversity is acceptance. Denying or resisting challenges only amplifies their power over you. Instead, acknowledge the reality of the situation and remind yourself that hardship is a universal experience. No one escapes it, but how you respond to it is what sets you apart. Next, look for the lessons. Every challenge carries a hidden gift, a new skill, a revelation about yourself, or a deeper understanding of life. For instance, losing a job might teach you financial discipline or push you toward a more fulfilling career path. A failed relationship might reveal the importance of self-love and setting boundaries. When you approach adversity with curiosity and a willingness to learn, even the harshest experiences can become transformative. Action is the bridge between struggle and growth. Once you've identified the lessons, take steps to apply them. This might mean developing a new skill, seeking support, or re-evaluating your priorities. Action not only helps you overcome adversity, but also builds confidence and resilience. It's also important to cultivate gratitude, even in the face of hardship. This doesn't mean denying your pain or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about recognizing that challenges are a natural part of life and appreciating the growth they bring. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's possible, empowering you to move forward with hope and determination. Surround yourself with stories of others who have turned adversity into triumph. These examples serve as reminders that you, too, can overcome and thrive. Whether it's a historical figure like Nelson Mandela, who endured decades of imprisonment to become a global symbol of resilience, or someone in your own life, let their experiences inspire and guide you. Reframing adversity is not about sugarcoating struggles or ignoring pain. It's about choosing to see challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. The next time you face a setback, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become better? With this mindset, you'll find that every hardship, no matter how daunting, has the potential to elevate you to greater heights. 34. Cultivate discipline in the absence of purpose. What drives you when there's no clear goal in sight? Many people rely on purpose or external motivation to push them forward. But the truth is, discipline, not motivation, is the foundation of sustained success. Cultivating discipline when there's no immediate purpose or external reward is a powerful act of self-mastery. Discipline is like a muscle. It strengthens with consistent effort. Imagine waking up every day and going to the gym, even when you don't have a competition or event to prepare for. Over time, your body transforms, not because of a specific goal, but because of the habit of showing up. The same principle applies to your mind, work, and life. The first step to cultivating discipline is creating a routine. Routines remove the need for constant decision-making, which can drain your mental energy. Decide ahead of time when you'll work, exercise, or focus on personal development, and stick to it. The predictability of a routine creates a sense of stability and helps you build momentum. Next, focus on the process rather than the outcome. When you tie your efforts to a specific result, it's easy to lose motivation if progress is slow or unclear. Instead, commit to the act of improvement itself. Whether it's reading a book, practicing a skill, or exercising, remind yourself that every small action contributes to your growth, even if the rewards aren't immediately visible. Discipline also requires mindfulness. Be aware of the moments when you're tempted to quit or procrastinate. Ask yourself, what's stopping me? Often it's fear, laziness, or the lure of short-term gratification. Recognizing these impulses allows you to counter them with intention and resilience. One of the most powerful ways to build discipline is to create a system of accountability. Share your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or coach who can encourage and challenge you. Alternatively, track your progress in a journal or app. Seeing tangible evidence of your efforts reinforces your commitment and motivates you to keep going. Remember, discipline is not about perfection. There will be days when you falter, and that's okay. What matters is your ability to get back on track and keep moving forward. Each time you do, you strengthen your resolve and build a foundation of trust in yourself. The Stoics believed in living virtuously, regardless of external circumstances. Similarly, discipline is about doing what's right and beneficial for your growth, even when there's no immediate payoff. It's about becoming the kind of person who takes consistent action, not because you're compelled to, but because you've chosen to. Cultivating discipline in the absence of purpose is a testament to your inner strength. It's a declaration that your growth is non-negotiable, even when the path ahead is unclear. By mastering this skill, you prepare yourself to seize opportunities and face challenges with unwavering resolve, ensuring that you're always moving toward your highest potential. 35. Overcome the need for comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers promises of ease and safety, luring you into routines that demand little but offer even less in return. Yet, life's most meaningful growth occurs beyond the boundaries of comfort. To achieve resilience, strength, and purpose, you must break free from the need for constant comfort and actively embrace discomfort. Think about it. The human body strengthens through resistance. Muscles grow only when they're pushed to their limits. The same is true for your mind and spirit. Comfort, while alluring, can make you soft, unprepared for the inevitable hardships that life will throw your way. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They practiced voluntary discomfort, fasting, enduring cold, or living simply, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they knew it prepared them for the unchosen suffering of life. Begin with small acts of intentional discomfort. Take a cold shower, wake up earlier than you need to, or skip a meal occasionally. These actions remind you that you can endure more than you think. They also foster gratitude for the comforts you often take for granted. A hot meal feels extraordinary after a fast, just as a warm room is cherished after braving the cold. But physical discomfort is only part of the equation. Emotional discomfort is where the greatest growth often lies. Speak up in a meeting even if you fear judgment. Approach a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Challenge your beliefs by reading viewpoints that oppose your own. Each act of emotional bravery builds your resilience and confidence, proving to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. The key is consistency. Discomfort, like a muscle, must be exercised regularly to prevent atrophy. Set a daily goal to step outside your comfort zone. Over time, you'll find that discomfort becomes less daunting and more empowering. It will no longer represent a threat, but an opportunity, a chance to grow, to adapt, and to thrive. Moreover, embracing discomfort strengthens your character. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. When you willingly endure hardship, you build a reserve of inner strength that you can draw upon when life's challenges arrive uninvited. You learn to face adversity with calm and composure, knowing you've prepared for it. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you lean into discomfort, you're not just toughening yourself for the storms ahead. You're cultivating a mindset that sees obstacles as stepping stones. Discomfort becomes a tool, not an enemy. Life will test you. It will present suffering and challenge whether you're ready or not. By embracing discomfort daily, you prepare yourself for the trials ahead. You transform hardship into growth, fear into courage, and suffering into strength. Remember, comfort never built resilience. It is discomfort that forges the unshakable spirit. 36. Adopt a mission statement. In a world full of distractions and competing priorities, clarity is power. A personal mission statement acts as your North Star, a guiding principle that keeps you aligned with your values and purpose, no matter what life throws your way. Without a mission, you're like a ship adrift at sea, vulnerable to the whims of external forces. Your mission statement is not just a set of lofty ideals. It's a declaration of who you are and who you aim to become. It encapsulates your values, goals, and the legacy you wish to leave behind. Think of it as a daily contract with yourself, a commitment to live intentionally and with purpose. To create your mission statement, start by reflecting deeply on what matters most to you. What drives you? What values are non-negotiable in your life? For instance, a mission could be as simple yet profound as to live with integrity, pursue wisdom, and uplift those around me. Or it could be more specific, such as to create a meaningful impact through my work while staying true to my family and faith. The key is to make it personal and actionable. A mission statement isn't just for display, it's a tool for accountability. Each day ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my mission? Are my actions today bringing me closer to the person I want to be? Once you've defined your mission, integrate it into your daily life. Write it down and place it where you'll see it often, on your desk, phone, or bathroom mirror. Begin your day by reading it and end your day by reflecting on how well you upheld it. Over time, this practice will solidify your mission in your mind, making it second nature. Your mission statement also serves as a filter for decision-making. When faced with choices, refer back to your mission. Does this align with my values and goals? Will this bring me closer to my purpose? If the answer is no, it's easier to let go of distractions and focus on what truly matters. The Stoics were masters of living with purpose. Marcus Aurelius, for example, constantly reminded himself of his duty as both a ruler and a human being. His writings reflect a man committed to wisdom, justice, and service. Like Marcus, you too can use your mission statement to stay grounded and focused. Adopting a mission statement is not just about setting lofty goals. It's about living with intention. It's a daily reminder that your life is your responsibility and that you have the power to shape it. When you align your actions with your mission, you create a life of meaning, resilience, and fulfillment. Remember, your mission statement is not set in stone. As you grow and evolve, so too can your mission. The important thing is to always have one, a beacon that keeps you anchored amidst the chaos of life. With a clear mission, you transform from a passive participant to an active author of your story, charting a course toward a life of purpose and impact. 37. The power of forgiveness. Forgiveness often feels like surrender, as if by forgiving someone you're letting them win. But true forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness doesn't harm the person who wronged you, it harms you. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a powerful act of reclaiming your emotional freedom and restoring your peace of mind. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In forgiving, you're not excusing or condoning the wrong done to you. Instead, you're choosing not to let that wrong define you or dictate your actions. You're saying, "I refuse to carry this burden any longer." Consider the weight of carrying anger or resentment. It drains your mental and emotional energy, leaving you stuck in the past. But when you forgive, you release that weight. You create space for growth, peace, and clarity. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to reconcile with someone or even speak to them again. It simply means you're choosing to let go of the negative hold they have over you. Start by reframing forgiveness. Instead of seeing it as a gift to the other person, see it as a gift to yourself. By forgiving, you take back control of your emotions and your narrative. This is especially important in situations where apologies or reparations are not forthcoming. Waiting for someone else to make things right only prolongs your suffering. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time event. Some wounds take longer to heal than others, and that's okay. Start small. Reflect on past grievances that still weigh on you. Write them down and acknowledge how they've affected you. Then, one by one, consciously choose to release them. Visualize the weight being lifted from your shoulders as you let go. Remember, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning from the experience while refusing to let it consume you. Set boundaries where needed to protect yourself, but don't let the memory of a wrong poison your present or future. Forgiveness is about reclaiming your power and refusing to let the actions of others define who you are. As you practice forgiveness, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more in control of your life. You'll also develop greater empathy and compassion, understanding that everyone is flawed and that people often act out of their own pain or ignorance. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to let go of anger and choose peace, but in doing so, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your ability to move forward with clarity and purpose. As the Stoics believed, the greatest revenge is not vengeance. It's living a life of peace, resilience, and wisdom. 38. Train for mental toughness. Mental toughness is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill you develop. And like any skill, it requires regular practice to stay sharp. Success, resilience, and discipline are perishable. If you don't train your mind to endure challenges and push through discomfort, it will atrophy, leaving you unprepared for life's inevitable difficulties. Think of mental toughness as a muscle. You don't build strength by lifting light weights. You grow by challenging yourself, by pushing past what's comfortable. The Stoics were masters of this concept. Epictetus taught that adversity is not something to fear, but an opportunity to test and strengthen your character. He said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." To train your mental toughness, start with small, intentional acts of discomfort. Wake up earlier than you need to. Take on a task you've been avoiding. Commit to exercising even when you don't feel like it. These small victories build a foundation of resilience, proving to yourself that you can push through discomfort and emerge stronger. Consistency is key. Mental toughness isn't something you build once and then coast on for life. It requires regular challenges to stay sharp. Set daily goals that push you just outside your comfort zone. Over time, you'll find that what once seemed daunting becomes routine, and your capacity for handling stress and adversity grows. Another critical aspect of mental toughness is learning to control your emotions. Life will throw curveballs, and your ability to remain calm and focused will determine how well you handle them. Practice mindfulness or meditation to develop this skill. These practices train you to observe your thoughts and emotions without being ruled by them, allowing you to respond to challenges with clarity rather than panic. Mental toughness also involves cultivating a growth mindset. See failures not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Each setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. When you embrace this perspective, challenges become less intimidating, and you develop the resilience to keep moving forward no matter what. Accountability is another powerful tool for building mental toughness. Surround yourself with people who challenge and support you. Share your goals and progress with them. Knowing that others are watching can motivate you to stay disciplined and committed, even on the hardest days. Finally, remember that mental toughness is not about suppressing vulnerability or emotions. It's about developing the strength to face them head-on and keep moving forward. It's the ability to endure hardship without losing sight of your goals, to persevere when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Life will test you, sometimes brutally, but with regular training, you can build a mind that doesn't falter in the face of adversity. Mental toughness is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. It's about meeting challenges with resilience and using them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Train your mind daily, and you'll be prepared for whatever life throws your way. 39. Life's purpose is self-betterment. The question of life's purpose is one that has puzzled humanity for centuries. Philosophers, writers, and thinkers from all walks of life have sought to define why we are here. Among the Stoics, the answer was simple, yet profound. The purpose of life is self-betterment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." At its core, this philosophy teaches us that true fulfillment lies in striving to improve ourselves continuously. Self-betterment isn't about chasing perfection, it's about progress. Every day you have the opportunity to refine your character, strengthen your discipline, and expand your knowledge. This process doesn't require grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's the small, consistent choices you make, choosing kindness over anger, growth over stagnation, and action over apathy. Imagine your life as a sculpture. Each day you chip away at the rough edges, shaping and refining yourself into the person you aspire to be. The beauty of this journey is that there's no end point. Self-betterment is a lifelong pursuit, a commitment to becoming better today than you were yesterday. But self-betterment isn't just for personal gain. It's the foundation for all other achievements. Whether you want to build meaningful relationships, excel in your career, or leave a positive mark on the world, it all starts with you. If you lack discipline, focus, or emotional intelligence, these pursuits will crumble under pressure. By prioritizing your growth, you create a solid foundation that can support every other area of your life. To begin this journey, start by identifying areas where you want to improve. Be honest with yourself about your weaknesses, but don't let them discourage you. Instead, see them as opportunities for growth. Create a plan to address these areas, setting small, achievable goals that move you closer to the person you want to become. One of the biggest challenges in self-betterment is overcoming resistance, the part of you that wants to stay comfortable and avoid effort. Recognize this resistance for what it is: fear of change. The only way to defeat it is to take action, no matter how small. Each step forward builds momentum and confidence, making the next step easier. Remember, self-betterment is not a competition with others. It's a deeply personal journey. Comparing yourself to others will only lead to frustration and distraction. Instead, focus on your progress and celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Every step forward is a testament to your resilience and commitment. Finally, embrace setbacks as part of the process. Growth is not linear. There will be days when you fall short. The key is to view these moments as opportunities to learn and come back stronger. As the Stoics believed, adversity is the greatest teacher. Each challenge you face is a chance to strengthen your character and deepen your understanding of yourself. Life's purpose is not found in material wealth, fame, or fleeting pleasures. It's found in the quiet, persistent work of becoming the best version of yourself. This is the foundation for a fulfilling and meaningful life, one built on integrity, discipline, and continuous growth. Every day is a new opportunity to take a step closer to your potential. Embrace the journey, and you'll discover that the pursuit of self-betterment is its own reward. 40. Find peace in the battle. Peace and struggle might seem like opposites, but the truth is that true peace is found not in avoiding battles, but in facing them head-on. Life is a series of battles, some external, many internal. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "It is not the things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance." The greatest battle you will ever fight is the one within yourself, and mastering this internal conflict is the key to finding lasting peace. The battle within comes in many forms: self-doubt, fear, procrastination, and the pull of instant gratification. These are your daily opponents, the barriers that stand between you and your goals. Ignoring them or hoping they will go away only makes them stronger. To find peace, you must confront them with courage and discipline. But how do you find peace in the midst of struggle? The first step is acceptance. Acknowledge that life is not meant to be easy. Challenges are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities to grow. Every struggle you face is a chance to test your resilience and refine your character. By shifting your perspective, you can transform adversity from a source of frustration into a tool for self-improvement. Another key to finding peace is to focus on what you can control. The Stoics taught that we have no power over external events, only over our responses to them. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead, direct your energy toward mastering your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Discipline is your greatest ally in this battle. When your mind tells you to quit, push forward. When fear whispers that you're not good enough, prove it wrong with action. Each time you overcome these internal voices, you strengthen your mental armor and move closer to peace. At the same time, don't overlook the importance of self-compassion. The battle within can be fierce, but beating yourself up for your struggles only adds to the weight. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a close friend. Recognize that growth takes time and that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Finally, remember that peace is not the absence of struggle. It's the mastery of it. It's the calm you feel when you know you've given your best effort, regardless of the outcome. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever life throws your way. True peace is not found in avoiding life's challenges, but in facing them with courage, discipline, and self-mastery. The battle within is where the most profound growth occurs. Embrace the struggle, learn from it,